What's going on, YouTubers? Week 45 is in the books. I'm a day late and a dollar short with my video. Normally I post these on Friday morning just before the stock market opens, but Yahoo's being a pain in the butt and I just wasn't feeling it yesterday. It was Friday. Today is the day. So we started the week off with $61,200 invested into the portfolio. We pulled in $670 that we're going to use to pay on the house. The top performers for the week. Always like to highlight the top performers, and we're only looking at the ones that hit the Hundo Club. TSYY, 137% distribution. Freaking killing it week after week. SMCY, we haven't seen SMCY in the 100% club in a very long time. We're not sure if YieldMax is bumping up the numbers to get their customers to come back, or if they actually figured it out. I think a little bit of both, maybe. They just went to a weekly solution a couple weeks ago, and they know that they are losing customers because there's a lot of good competition out there in this sector. MST, 110% distribution, but I've been buying these ETFs for well over a year now. This new one from Defiance, this is the fastest destructive decay I've ever seen since owning these different kinds of ETFs. And in the past, we have seen Defiance do a reverse split on some of their products. So this one was probably, I'm going to say, the worst investment of the year for me. PLTY, another YieldMax product, got into the Hundo Club. And NBDY, another YieldMax product, hit the Hundo Club, out freaking standing. All right, here's the reality. Unrealized gains for my $61,000 portfolio. It's taken a hit. I'm down $21,000. Realized gains, actual no shit cash money, I've received $23,200 this year, so not bad. A lot of it is return of capital, so I'm initially paying myself. This is kind of a long game, but a lot of these companies, if they just keep letting the destructive decay take over, they're not going to have any customers and they're not going to have any tickers, because who's going to invest in something that just dwindles down to $1? Give me a freaking break. You know what I mean? So, I'm not going to go through each one and tell you how much I got from each one, because Yahoo's running like poop today. You take a look at the MST, this one right here. Like I said, this is the fastest decaying, destructive decay I've seen since owning these type of ETFs. And right now, there's over 112 different ETFs that you can choose from. So, challenging to pick the right one, if there is even a right one. Look at that, 58% destructive decay since I've owned it. That's huge. MSTY, they suck. They used to be amazing. YieldMax MSTR option was an awesome choice well over a year ago. They've let it go to shit, and crazy enough, there's still people thinking this is a great investment. If you got in at $9, sure, most likely it could be, because how much farther is it going to go down? It's hard to say. Let's take a look at the list. Excuse me. 113 different ETFs that you can pick from. Want to see the scary part? Look at this. YieldMax. This one, MRNY, went down to $1.50. That's where YieldMax is going with their products. They're just sucking the life out of them and moving on. I don't know how long this one's going to last at only $1, but pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right, anyway, let's take a look at the comparisons. You got Defiance, Roundhill, and YieldMax. They got a different ticker you can buy for the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500, and the Russell 2000. Looks like Defiance has given out the biggest distribution for the NASDAQ 100 category. Defiance has given the biggest distribution for the S&P 500 category. And Defiance, no, look at that. YieldMax giving out the biggest distribution for the Russell 2000. Good job on that one. The Bitcoin category for the ones I own, I only track the ones I own. Looks like we almost have a tie. YieldMax just barely beat out Global X by like 0.09 distribution. That's a nice one. All of them are in the 40s, so that's pretty good. You're going to want to look at the destructive decay and see which one's better for your portfolio. The crypto category, Let's F and Go and BLOX. Let's F and Go doubled what BLOX is giving out, the mustache. The mustache was growing, but they lost a lot of ground as far as their actual value. I was in the green at one point, but now they've lost some value since for my dollar cost average. Let's take a look at NVDA, Roundhill Rex and YieldMax. Whoa, YieldMax. See, this is where we're at. We haven't seen YieldMax push out 100% distros in a long time. So are they doing this to get their customers back, knowing that they still have a destructive decay problem, or have they figured it out? I don't know. I mean, you go from 30, 40, 50 to 100. I think it's smoke and mirrors, kind of like a good drug dealer. Next category, Tesla, Roundhill Rex, and Granite. For the three that I have, Granite crushing it. TSYY, 130+% distribution week after week after week. So if you do the Rule 72, how quickly can you earn all your money back on this one? Do the math, take a look. But nobody else can even touch them in this category. They pretty much doubled what everybody else was giving out. The Coinbase category, Roundhill Rex and YieldMax. Roundhill crushing everybody. Now Rex, it's a grower and a distributor, but with the way the market's gone in the last week, they pretty much lost all their growth crazy fast. So you got to look at that also to see which one you might want to add to your portfolio if this is even a thing for you. PLTR category. Man, I don't even know what's going on with this one. People are talking schmack. Some big heavy guy is betting against it, and it had great results for the quarter, and it just started going down. But with the government shutdown, the jobs dropping like it's hotcakes because AI is taking over, things are shifting. But YieldMax hitting the Hundo Club with this one. They did it 2 weeks in a row, hitting 100, so that's pretty interesting to see. MSTR, the MSTR category, the one that was really popular once upon a time. Defiance, Rex, Roundhill, and YieldMax. Defiance crushing the competition, hitting the Hundo Club. Out freaking standing. But remember, MST, that one, destructive decay. It went so fast down to, what are we at right now? $4. It's considered a penny stock right now. That's why you see so many zeros past. That's really bad. That sucks. This is probably the worst investment I did for this portfolio this year, because they're not coming back from that. Not this year. I don't think ever. So we'll just write that $1,000 off as a, well, lesson learned, right? All right, let's take a look at the net assets. At the beginning of the month, we take a look at the net assets. Kind of gives us an idea which way the ticker's going, whether people are investing or running away. So QQQY, this one went up. They went up about 8 million in net assets. QDTE, this one went down. They lost about 7 million in net assets. QDTY, this one went up. A little over 1 million in net assets. excuse me, QDTE went up about 2 million in net assets. XDTE, this one went down. They lost almost 40 million in net assets. SDTY, this one barely went down, 0.1 million in net assets. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Just a little bit. I mean, the value probably went down also. So IWMY, this one went up about 1.5 million in net assets. RDTE, this one went up 10 million in net assets. RDTY went down, lost 0.2 million net assets. YBTC, this one went down. They lost about 14 million in net assets. BCCC, this one is the most affordable when it comes to expense ratio, and they went up about 3 million in net assets. So if you want to look at long-term and expense ratios, maybe that's an option for you. YBIT, this one went down 23 million in net assets. YMAX dropped out of the $1 billion club. They went down. They lost about 50 million in net assets. YMAG, this one went up. What's that? 30 million in net assets. Pretty good growth. Let's F and Go, coming back up. Gained over 25 million in net assets. BLOX, the mustache from Nicholas. This one boomed, almost doubled, over doubled in net assets, increasing by over 100 million. That's effing awesome. GPTY, this one went up about 17 million in net assets. NVDW, nice increase, almost doubled. Went from 76 to 136 million in net assets. Huge. NVII, this one went up about a little over 10 million in net assets. NVDY went up 0.01 billion in net assets. TSLW, this one went up over 60 million in net assets. Nice. This is the smallest one, TSII. This one went up almost 8 million in net assets. Pretty nice growth. TSYY, this one is very popular. You drop a post on X on this, and a lot of people see it. People are watching this one. Granite, and the Granite's kicking out a whole bunch of new stuff. I'm not adding any more to the portfolio because 38 is hard enough to keep up with. But this one went up over 110 million in net assets. Huge growth. AAPW, this one doubled. Went from 25 to 53 million in net assets. Outstanding. COIW, this one went up 36 million in net assets. Nice growth. COII, this one's dying. It went down again. Lost, 2 million in net assets. CONY, it's going to drop out of the $1 billion club pretty soon. It lost 0.1 billion in net assets. PLTW, this one went up, increasing well over 100 million in net assets. Nice growth. PLTY, this one went down, lost almost 15 million in net assets. MAGY, this one went up. What's that? 40 million in net assets. MST dropped another 20 million in net assets. This one's going to disappear pretty soon, I think. MSII, this one lost again. Nobody's interested in MSTR anymore. Dropped about 5 million in net assets. MSTW, this one went up. Well, somebody's interested in Roundhill products. This one went up over 23 million in net assets. Nice. MSTY, huge decrease. Once upon a time, it was almost touching 6 billion in net assets. Now it's 2.9 billion in net assets. This one, people are running from, hauling ass. USOY, this one lost about 3 million in net assets. YETH lost about 2 million in net assets. SMCY, this one lost a huge portion, about 70 million in net assets. And our last one, CNBY, this one lost almost 20 million in net assets. Rough week for sure, definitely a rough week for the portfolio, but we're going to still plug away and see if eventually we can live off of this portfolio. That's all I got for you. Appreciate you watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And next week is Veterans Week. So if you see a veteran, thank them. It makes it awkward, but do something. Buy them a cup of coffee, firm handshake, a smile, something as simple as a smile. They'll appreciate it. We'll see you later.